testify, but knowing it could slow the process down if we have hours and hours of testimony, it could delay the bill. So maybe if you've heard other people say the same things, you may say they've spoken before, you can get briefed with you. Is that a fair comment?
I think that's fair. Appreciate you saying that. Ms. Umberg?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, thank you very much for entertaining public comments on this issue in regards to the TSA and the leaks of the boundaries of consistency and legality at the nation's and in Texas airports.
Yes, sir. Two witnesses to identify themselves.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I'm sorry.
Okay. I should have done that.
I apologize. My name is Rhonda Umberg, and I am the precinct chair for the Harris County Republican Party in precinct 839, which is located on the southwest side of Houston. It is in Senator Joe Huffman's district, I believe. My visit here today has nothing to do with Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, but the laws that govern common decency. The legislature has up to now, and I'm very impressed with your dealings today, but up to now funded on their responsibility to protect and defend the Constitution. The state legislature, once it first learned that people were being frisked at the airports in a manner that would make Larry Flynn blush, should have taken the lead on this issue and banned them from any airport, much less train, bus, or any other transportation station until they got their house in order. I understand we are hung up on legal language, semantics, but we need to know that you are standing up for us, regardless of the outcome of this bill. A short story about how the TSA operates and why this is important. My friend and co-patriot, I'll call her Pam, was most recently accosted by TSA agents at an airport in Washington, D.C. And even though she did not protest their fondling or abuse, she did begin to cry. And when she began weeping, excuse me, the TSA agents became more hostile and started accusing her of all sorts of things. Her husband could not do anything because she was unable, or he was unable, to even go near her and was completely unaware of her predicament. Of course, they are now livid and ashamed that this great nation is capable of doing such things to an innocent traveler going about their daily business. Excuse me. Of course, everyone here in this room is dedicated to the security of this nation. Many of us have lost a loved one or had friend or relation stationed overseas defending and preserving our liberties there. How ironic it is that while our men and women in uniform are serving away from their homes thousands of miles away, our liberties are being thrown down the proverbial toilet on very soil that we're in.
I might just interrupt for a second to say, first of all, the rules of the Senate don't allow for that, but Senator Patrick's right. Applause and those kind of things tend to slow things down.
I didn't mean to
ask for it. I know you didn't. And I understand everybody's sentiment. It's just for courtesy for those that will be coming after you. Oh, thank you, ma'am. And by the way, you're just about out of time.
I understand. And I'm just going to leave you with a final thought that, honestly, we don't need any more laws on the books. We have a Constitution, and we need to defend it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Ms. Whalen?
My name is Corey Whalen. I'm here on behalf of the Republican Liberty Caucus of Texas, and I'm from Houston. And I just wanted to say that this organization, the Republican Liberty Caucus, has been extremely active on this particular legislation. And similar to Rhonda, I've been impressed with the proceedings today, and I think that everyone in this room is doing their due diligence. And I hope that we do see this come to the floor. So as Senator Patrick said, I will keep it brief. I just want to say that even though I'm not originally from Texas, I'm from Massachusetts, I'm new here, but I feel very strongly that in Texas there's a value of independence and free spirit that you don't see in other states. And I appreciate the idea that Texas is a last stand. If we don't deal with this and set precedents on our state level, I don't see any other state taking the initiative. You know, where I'm from, there's great revolutionary history, but it's been abandoned in favor of centralization. And Texas is one of the last beacons, and I really truly believe that the citizens of this state have made it clear how we feel, and I hope that this body does take that into concern, and I believe that they have. Representative Simpson and Senator Patrick have noted that no federal statute is being contravened and that Texas does have the right to do this. I believe we need to continue raising awareness of this issue, and I do appreciate that that is being done. I believe Senator Patrick did bring up the fact that a 95-year-old woman with leukemia was recently treated as a terrorist. And frankly, if our citizens are suspects, then the freedoms that we are trying to preserve are no longer intact, therefore defeating the entire purpose. In that sense, the terrorists have accomplished their goal. So I'll leave it at that, and thank you for your consideration of this bill.
Thank you for being here.
Can I ask you a quick
Yes, sir. Sir,
How old
sure.
are you?
24?
Well, Massachusetts loss is Texas's gain.
Yes. Ms. Harris?
We were for the original bill that got passed by this committee. That's what we were for. I am Dr. Presley. I'm a business owner here in Austin, and I was on the board of directors for many, many years at Safe Place, the Battered Women's Shelter here in Austin. And they provide resources for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. I myself am a sexual assault survivor. And whenever I go to the TSA at the airport, I'm absolutely humiliated. And they touch my breast and they touch my vagina. So one question I have is, and this is a real question, give me an example under this bill. What is reasonable suspicion for someone, the TSA, to touch my vagina? If you cannot answer that question, then what we're doing here is not right for Texas. And Texas women and Texas children and men. Okay? So what is reasonable suspicion that gives them the right to touch my vagina? Because they do it now. Multiple times. I've had this happen. Can you not answer this question? If you cannot answer this as a committee, you're not doing what we need you to do. You're not being a representative of us. Okay? The other thing is the consent. What if I don't consent under this law? No, you cannot touch my breast, you cannot touch my vagina. Do I fly? Can you answer that question? Senator Patrick, what happens?
All right. I won't answer specifically in every instance, but right now, if you do not consent to searches at the airport, you would not be able to fly.
Exactly, so this is ridiculous. Y'all are doing something that is really not effective. I'm an engineer, I have a PhD in chemistry, and let me just tell you guys, this is ineffective. Okay? All right, also the TSA twice before this week has said they are not going to pat down children. So do we believe them the first time? No, because they're still doing it. Do we believe the second time? No. Are we going to believe them the third time, Senator Shapiro? They have said this twice before. Are you going to believe them the third time? I don't believe them. Okay. Allowing the TSA to do warrantless physical searches is against the Constitution, period. No buts about it.
Yeah.
No buts about it. And I'm sick of it. I used to think that Texas men, all right, were appalled at other men or other people touching their women and children. Where are you today? Where are you? We used to be offended. I used to think men didn't take kindly to others touching their women and children. You're allowing this to happen. You have the power and you're not taking it. And we implore you, men and the women of this committee, to not let us down. You are our only hope. Okay? We have to say no. Not only no, but hell no. And that's what we expect you guys to do.
Thank you, Doctor.
That's it.
Mr. Danielle.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to respond very briefly. And Doctor, thank you for your testimony. Let me just say this clearly, and I'm sorry that the two of you do not support the bill any longer. As an engineer, you also know we work on facts. And the facts are that in probable cause, there are not enough votes in the House or not enough votes in the Senate to pass the bill. Ma'am, this is not a dialogue.
You're going to be out of
Disagree.
here, ma'am.
Ma'am,
You're out.
I'm just sharing with you then our goal is the goal of everyone here and the overwhelming support for this bill, even at reasonable suspicion, to get the TSA to change their policy and shine a light on this issue. And that's what we're trying to do. That's exactly what those of us who support this bill are trying to do. And you surely can agree to disagree. But the overwhelming support is on that basis from our law enforcement, from our legislators, and from our attorneys. So I'm sorry that you disagree on that, but it's not the perfect bill for you, but we intend to pass a very good bill that will protect our citizens and get the TSA to change their policy. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.